Welcome to episode 395 of the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm looking at the New Orleans Pelicans and whether or not Zion Williamson can lead them to the playoffs in 2021. But before getting into that topic, question for the video for you Pelicans fans and NBA fans in general. Who is the all-time leading scorer in points in the New Orleans Pelicans franchise history? Comment the answer below if you know it. If you do not, don't worry, I will reveal the answer at the end. But getting into this topic, Zion Williamson, one of the biggest prospects to come into the NBA ever since LeBron James. I'm not going to say he is the next LeBron James. He's one of a kind no matter what. Even Michael Jordan, you can never say there will be another one of him. Even LeBron James, they're just each one of a kind players. Zion Williamson is always going to be his own guy, Zion Williamson. I don't really think you can really say he's the next LeBron by any means. Complete different styles of play. Similar sizes, but still even Zion's got a pretty good amount of weight on him. Just complete different players. Not going to compare him. But we know his talent is there. Like I said, one of the best prospects. Amazing coming out of Duke even this past year. Fell short of Rookie of the Year, but that was mainly due to missing some time in the NBA due to injuries. John Morant, another amazing rookie in the past year with Zion, who did phenomenal. But Zion himself, can he take the Pelicans to the playoffs will be a big question. Right now, they're right outside of the playoff bracket. I believe they're the 10th or 11th seed. They're 14 and 18. However, with coronavirus, COVID-19, the NBA, instead of just doing the top 8 teams to make the playoffs this year, will do a top 8, of course, but top 10 teams will get a buy-in or a play-in. So seeds 7 through 10 will be able to play in to get into the playoffs. So if you're 9 or 10 right outside of the playoffs, you still have a chance to get in. Therefore, I do think the Pelicans have a solid chance. But overall, my kind of short answer is that it's not going to be up to Zion Williamson if they make the playoffs. Yes, he can help lead them there, but it's not going to be primarily him because Zion's doing his job right now, putting up 25 points a night, having some of the best percentages in the NBA right now in scoring-wise, shooting-wise, just great percentages all around. He's getting to the free throw line and has solid percentages there. Just a machine, and he's doing his part for the Pelicans. Obviously every player can do a little bit more, but you can't there's a fine line and you can't ask him to do much more. He's doing everything he can, and he's doing a great job, and he's producing and serving his role just fine. It's really going to be, can the team around him get him there? And I think that will be the biggest question mark, not whether or not Zion Williamson can do it, can the supporting cast around him do it. But the Pelicans team is not a bad team. He's not playing to scraps. He's got a pretty good center in Steven Adams. I think he's one of the more underrated centers in the NBA. Brandon Ingram is emerging to a great player as well. He won Comeback Player of the Year. Him and Zion will be a great duo for a very long time. They're both very young. They, of course, have Lonzo Ball at the point guard position. Nothing spectacular, but he's still very well-known name in the NBA, and he is a starting point guard worthy of being a starting point guard in the NBA, and I think he's serving a great role for the New Orleans Pelicans. However, they might be looking at him for trade bait for possible upgrades. Not a bad idea, but right now he's doing a tolerable job in my opinion. Eric Bledsoe at the shooting guard, not great by any means. We know his expectations have never been lived up to. His name's always been bigger than his play. However, he's still, like I kind of just said, still well-known name in the NBA, and he's serving the role that he's expected to fill now, which is not much. However, he does have J.J. Redick in behind him, who is a great shooting guard that has been around the league. Great at shooting, just great at serving his role as well. And then, of course, you have Josh Hart off the bench as well. Overall, this team has a lot of ballers that are just great at doing their purpose, serving their roles, and not being spectacular, not going out and dropping 25, 30, 40. They're great at serving the role that they're expected to. Like I said, Lonzo Ball, J.J. Redick, Josh Hart, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram. He's going to turn into a great player, though. He will give you 30 a night at some point in his career, maybe not 30 a night, but 25. Zion Williamson is already doing that, and like I said, Steven Adams, very underrated center in this league. So I do think this team has the talent to get there. It's just they're all a little young right now, very new to the league. COVID's still a big thing that's going on and messing with the young players. They're not used to the NBA in general, let alone having a pandemic to deal with. So I do think that is a factor, but nonetheless, there's still a lot of season left in the NBA. They've still got 30, 40, close to 50 games left in the NBA, more like 40. And there's plenty of time to get up higher in the seedings for them to make a playoff run. And like I said, they don't even have to make the top 8 seeds. They just got to make the top 10, and then they have a chance to play in to make the playoffs. So to me, looking at the playoffs right now, I think some lock-in teams are definitely the Utah Jazz, LA Clippers, LA Lakers, Phoenix Suns. I think they're a lock in, and even the Denver Nuggets, even though they're 8th seed right now, I think they have an amazing roster all around between Jamal Murray, MPJ, Nikola Jokic, Paul Millsap. They have a solid foundation, and I think they will eventually definitely be higher seeded in the West for sure. I don't think we'll stay at that 8th seed. So to me, those 5 teams are kind of locks, even though the Nuggets are a little iffy now. And then you got another teams that are bouncing in and out. You got the Spurs, the Warriors, the Trailblazers, of course, are 4th seed right now and playing great. However, last year they were the 8th seed, and I could see them falling a little bit further as the season goes on. And then, of course, you have the Dallas Mavericks. If they can ever figure anything out on defense, Luka Doncic can look like the expected MVP he was supposed to be this year. And then, of course, Zion's, I don't want to say rival, but the guy who's most competed against in Rookie of the Year, John Morant, in the Memphis Grizzlies. They're a team that's bouncing around the playoffs right outside of it as well. So there's a lot of teams in the West that are very competitive, and it's not going to be easy by any means for the Pelicans to make it. Like I said, the competition is very high in the West. All those teams are full of star caliber players, full of, to me, title roster teams. I think a lot of those teams are worthy of an NBA championship. Not sure a lot of them will get there. Of course, only one makes it. I'm not sure a lot of them will have the star power to be able to go through the Los Angeles Lakers or the Los Angeles Clippers. And I don't think the Pelicans do as well, but that's not really the point. This is an Pelicans NBA Finals video. This is them to the playoffs, and to me, I definitely think they could get there. I think Zion, even though, like I said, it's not up to him, I do think he can lead them there with his star cast around him in Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, JJ Redick, and Josh Hart, and of course, Steven Adams. I think this team will at least get a play-in and be a top 10 seed, in my opinion. If not, I think get a locked-in seed at 8th or 7th, where they get a better spot in the play-in games. I don't see them getting above that and getting a 6th, 5th, or 4th seed, but you never know. Like I said, there's a lot of season left. But in my opinion, they, at the bare minimum, have a shot to have a play-in game or series to make it into these NBA playoffs in 2021. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Zion Williamson will take them to the playoffs? Can they get there in general? And if they get there, what will they do in the playoffs? Will they get a playoff series wins? Will they make it to the divisional round? Will they make it to the Western Conference Finals? Who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But that is it for the video. For the question of the video, the all-time leading scorer in points for the New Orleans Pelicans in their franchise history is Anthony Davis, right around 11,000 points. However, I think if Zion Williamson stays a New Orleans Pelicans for his entire career, he will eventually surpass him. Thanks for watching, guys. 2-1.